Hello guys, this is Macrocode and welcome back to our today's video. So if you're new to this channel, consider subscribing and watching our video. So today we are going to learn about Hangfire with ASP.NET Core 7.0, and majorly we are going to deal with background jobs. So in today's video, we are going to learn details about Hangfire with ASP.NET Core 7.0 background jobs. So almost all application requires some kind of background work. So whether it's a long or a short work or a repeated job, then we have to do every other day. So something that we need to see on today's video is how to implement these background jobs in ASP.NET Core. So running jobs in the background is a common programming task that we face on regular basis, and performing these jobs correctly without breaking your code isn't easy, but it's also not difficult. So I used to use Windows services to schedule different operations within my C# program. So then I discovered a Hangfire. So in today's video, we are going to see how you can actually execute these background jobs using Hangfire. So let's begin the video. What is Hangfire? Some of you might be wondering what is Hangfire. So Hangfire is an open source and well-documented task scheduler for ASP.NET Core. It's multi-threaded, easily scalable, and offers a variety of job types. So it is well structured, simple to use, and gives a powerful performance. So without taking much information, let's just begin and create a project. So I'm going to create a project. So I'm going to create ASP.NET Core web app. So just web app. So choose ASP.NET Core web app MVC. So that is model view controller. Then click next. So I'm going to say Hangfire. So we can call this sample Hangfire project. So this is our project. So for those who are new to this channel, consider subscribing and watching more about our videos. So simple Hangfire project. Then next, then we are going to use ASP.NET Core 7.0. Then configure HTTPS. Then create a new. So and there we are. So this is our project. So our project has been created. We have the controllers, the models, and the views. So if we just launch this app, we have a default ASP.NET Core web app. So there we are. So you can see this is our default web app. So to begin with, we are going to need some nuggets to actually install. So I'll just showcase. So come to our main project. Right click on the project, then manage nuggets. Then we are going to install Hangfire. So just type in Hangfire. So this should be Hangfire. So that is it. So we are going to install Hangfire. There you are. Accept. Then another thing that I want us to install some SQL. So entity framework, core SQL. Install that. Install entity framework. Then also install entity framework core SQL Server. So we are going to connect these with our database, and also install entity framework core SQL client. SQL client. So I think that is fine. You can just do that. Then you can also install tools. So let's install tools. There we are. So install that. You can also install design. So there we are. So we have some nuggets. So for you to see those nuggets, come to our packages, then you'll be able to see we have the entity framework core, design, SQL, and the tools. And also we have our Hangfire there. So we need to configure our app settings to connect to our database. So to do that, so just type in configuration. Sorry. So let's type in configuration. So we're going to do connection settings. It is actually connections. So type in connections. Then I'm going to have here our connection string, default connection. Then we are going to connect this to our server. So our database, here we have our database. So I'm going to create a database called Hangfire sample. So there you are. So this is our database. So let's take our server. Server name is, this is my server name. So I'm going to paste it here. So I'll just type in server. Then I do that. Then database. So I need to connect this with the database. Sorry, it should be this way. Then our database, we said it is Hangfire sample. So this is the database. So I'll paste in there. Then I need to, so we can have trusted connection. So you can say trusted connection. So this will be true. So this is true. I can also minimize that. We can also say multiple active result sets. This is also true. Type in true. Sorry. Then we can also do trusted server certificate. This is also true. This is also true. So this is our connection. So the next thing that we should do is actually now connect this to our database. So come into our program.cs. But before that, I need us to create something called application DB context. So let's create a folder called database. Then inside the database, let's create a class called application DB context. Then should inherit from a DB context. And this we should be using entity framework core, that is it. Then let's create a public application. So this should be application DB context. So this should be application DB context. Then should do that. DB context options. Then we should do application DB context. Then this should be options. Then can do that. Can be base options. So this will be, so if you close this, then you say base DB context options, application DB context, then options, then you should actually open that up. So this should be this way. So the next thing that we need to do is come to our program.cs file. Then we need to have, so here we need to come here and say, so builder dot services dot add Hangfire. So you can add Hangfire. Then you can actually connect this to our database. So you can say x dot use SQL. So use SQL Server storage. Then you can do that. We connect it to our connection. So builder dot configuration. So you can say configuration dot get connection string. Then here we pass our connection string. So our connection string is this one, default connection. So come to our, take that, then paste it here, then you can close it. So that is it. So the next thing that you can actually do is we need to be accessing some of our background jobs on our dashboard, Hangfire dashboard. So come under the app here. So we can actually do here, you can do something. So you can say app.hangfire, use Hangfire dashboard. This is the URL that you should be using to access our dashboard. So you can say Hangfire, or we say my dashboard. So this, when you put a project / my dashboard, then you should be able to access the Hangfire dashboard. So let's try to run our project. So if we run our project, something went wrong there, keyword not supported. So our connection issue. So come in here. So default connection, then server. So this is our server. Then database, you should actually do this when connecting to our database. You should do this. Then here as well, we should be able to do that. So server, this is it. Database should be this one. Trusted connection should be that one. Then multiple active result sets through trusted server certificate. This should be trust server certificate. Then let's run it. There you are. So our project has run. So there you are. Our project has started. So if we come to our program.cs file, to access our dashboard, we said we should use my dashboard. So let's copy that. Come to our browser, then put in / my dashboard. So if we press enter, it should actually take you to the Hangfire dashboard. So this is the Hangfire dashboard. So you can see connection. And one thing that it has done, remember we connected this to our SQL. So one thing, if you come to our database, it has actually created some tables. So you can see it has created the Hangfire tables, the Hangfire hash, counter, job, job queue, job list. So that is what it has done. So those are some of the Hangfire database schema that it has actually created. So Hangfire checks if you have any associated Hangfire schema available in your database. So if not, it will actually create a bunch of tables with you. So as you can see, that are some of the tables for Hangfire. So if you come to jobs, so if we come to our app, we should be able to see here we have the jobs. So there are no any queued jobs currently. So if you also come to retries that are there are no retries, recurring jobs, and the servers. So that is what is available. So let's try to create something. Let's try to create a background job. So let's assume we want to be sending an email on our application. So let's do that. So let's create a folder here called so let's create a folder called interfaces. So let's create an interface class called iEmail service. So if we press that, then we can say this is we are now we send email. So we want to create a background service. So then this should take the job type. So let's say job type, and we can have a start. So we can say this is string. So this should be start time. Then let's create another class here. Let's just add it within here, or we can add it just within the same. So we can have this as email service. Then we will say this actually implements our email service. Then here we can say public, then void send email, then it should take string job type, then string start. So this should be start time. Then here we can actually console this dot write line. So it should be job type, you can say, and start time. Then we can put in something here. We say email successfully sent. Then we can put in the exact time. So we can do that. Then we can put this here. We say date time, then dot now. Then we can say this to long dates time, long time string. So that is it. So the next thing that we need to do, we need to inject this to our program.cs. Come here. Then we will say builder. So we'll say builder dot services dot add transient. Then we put in our email service. Then we say email service. So after that, I want us to create a controller. So let's create a controller here. Create a new empty controller. We call this Hangfire controller. Hangfire controller. Hangfire controller. So this is our controller. So here, we're going to do something here. We say public. So you can say this is private. So let's do private. Then we do email service. Then we say that is email service. Then we can do private background job client. Then we do background job client. Then you can also do private recurring job manager. Sorry. So you can do recurring job manager. So I'll do this underscore and we close this. Then here we need a constructor. So we can do public Hangfire controller. Then on our Hangfire controller, we need email. So let's tap. So you can see email service. Then we do background service and recurring job service. Then email service, we have done that. So we have created our controller. So the next thing that we need to do, so background jobs in ASP.NET Core can be of many types depending on the requirements. So let's go through the job types available within Hangfire with proper implementation and explanation on our ASP.NET Core project. So let's fire and forget jobs. So fire and forget jobs are executed only once. So we have the fire and forget jobs that are executed only once and almost immediately after creation. So we will create our first background job. So when we create this type of job, the server executes it only once as soon as it can. So let's create it. So we'll do public. So we have the fire and forget jobs. So public action result set. Then I'll create fire. So this is create fire and forget job. So if we do that, we don't have to pass any ID. So this is let's say this is HTTP get, and we can have the root. Can have the root. So this should be root, and the root is so we can name it as fire and forget job. So fire and forget job. So what it does, so we have the background job client, then we say enqueue. So we can do enqueue, then we'll do that, then we say this is email service dot send email. So remember we were to send the job type and the start time. So the job type here, we will say it's fire and forget job. Then our time, it should be date time dot now. Then you can put this to long time string. There you are. So we have email. So this is so this should be in string. So you can say to string. Yeah, that should be that way. This should be this way. Yeah. So then we can close this. There you are. So the next thing is to return. So we can return. So this we should return okay. So then that is it. So here, so let's assume this is kind of an API. So we can have this as controller base control. There you are. So if we do that, if we execute these, it should actually say fire and forget the job. So our only endpoint uses the inject Hangfire interface to schedule this type of job. So we can actually call these. So if we run this app now, let's try to run it, and we call this Hangfire. So if we come here and we say Hangfire, so that is our controller. Then we put in the endpoint. So if we hit there and we try to run this, let's try, we see. There you are. So it has actually come here. So if we do this, it has executed and it's okay. So it has returned okay. So if we do my dashboard, we can be able to come here and see there is one job. So you can see there is one job that has been queued, and if you open it, this is what it has happened. So we need to see if that was successful or it is not. So you can see it has been queued. It has not been, it is not still yet successful. So if we come here and we do that, then we say it was created a minute ago and it is queued. So let's try and wait, we see that. Let's see. So if we do this, you can see background job executed successfully. If we do my dashboard, come to jobs, you can see we have our email service, activate, send email, and the time. So this is what you do with email service. So that is fire and forget. So we have another job type. So the delayed jobs. So for the delayed jobs, assuming we want to send an email to a user, not immediately, but after 10 minutes. So in such cases, we use delayed jobs. So for delayed jobs, we'll come here under enqueue and we change this to schedule. So we change this to schedule. Then on the schedule, we will send our email. Then here, we need to delay this. So we'll say time span. We delay this for some minutes. So we'll say from minutes, then we say 2. Sorry. So we say 2 minutes. So we are delaying our schedule for 2 minutes. So then we'll say, so what we'll pass here is say background job. So we can do this. Sorry. So background job execution, can say execution delayed for. So you can do that. So we say 2. So you can actually say delayed for 2 minutes. So after we have done that, let's try to launch our app. So the job will be delayed for a time span of 2 minutes. So if we just do forget, so you can see a background job actually delayed for 2 minutes. So if we go to my dashboard, come here, so you'll see there is a scheduled jobs here. So this has been scheduled, and you can see if we open these jobs, if we click here, you can see we have enqueued in 2 minutes. So it will be sent in 2 minutes. So we also have another one. This one, it is in a minute. So the next job that you're going to see is the recurring jobs. So let's see our dashboard, how it looks now. So we have done the fire and forget scheduled jobs. Then you're going to do recurring jobs. So you can see these, we have done 2 scheduled jobs. So we queued like 2 or 3. So we actually deleted this. And if you come to our database, if we run the fire jobs, you'll be able to see some jobs, the statement, whether they are queued. So you'll be able to see even the invoice data, then the invocation data, the arguments, and the created time and date. Then this is the list, jobs parameters. You can see here the job queues. We see them here. The counters, you can see these are the counters. So the next thing that we need to do, the next type of job is the recurring jobs. So assuming we have a customer with a subscription to our service, then we'll need to be sending him or her a reminder about payments or the invoice itself. So this calls for a recurring job. So to do a recurring job now, come to our scheduled job. then we will do something called, so here we'll do recurring. So here we'll just do, say, recurring job, then we say add or update, then we should be sending that, so we don't need the delay time here, so we'll be just sending that. So we'll do add or update, then we send an email, then how long the recurring time here, so we can do cron, so we'll do cron, then how the recurring should be daily, monthly, hourly, or even minute. So it depends with how you will want the recurring job to happen. So you can do daily. So after that, then we can actually execute our job. So if I do this, we run also our application. Then we do fire. So that is our endpoint. So if we execute that, you can see. So if we open our dashboard, so my dashboard, so we've come to jobs. So we have the enqueued, processing, deleted, and even, so if you come here, you'll be able to see we have retries, recurring job. So you can see we have a recurring job. So this recurring job will be executed next in 15 minutes. So if we also run the recurring job again, let's fire and forget, you'll be able to see that it is. So if we do this, but you can actually trigger. So if you trigger it now, it will be executed. So if we trigger it, it should be executed. So let's come to our jobs, scheduled jobs, queued jobs, and the recurring jobs. So you have done those types of jobs. So the next one is continuation jobs. So these are jobs that is whether we have. So the next one is the continuation jobs. So we come to our sample here, then we will do background job, then we do continue job, then this will be running without that. This will be now a continuation job. If we remove that, then this should be fine. So we need the job ID. So for that, let's just have variable, can say job ID is equals to, so we can be executing this, then we say, so we can do this, but now our send email doesn't return anything. So implementation, go to implementation. So you can say this should return a string, and for that case we can say return so you can say ID should be GUID. So let's return a GUID. So on our, so this return a string. So if we come to our Hangfire, our job ID will be returning that. So we'll do background job with, then we say ID, then we can do this, then we say console, so console dot write line, then we say, so we can do this, we say email sent, so email sent successfully, then we can say with ID. So we can just put in the ID here, say job ID. Then you can close this. Then you can return. So this should be that way. This should be this way. Then we need to put in a comma here. Then you can return the background job. So you can say background job running. You can say running with ID. So you can put in the ID, say job ID. So if we do that, so let's try and execute, we see. So this is a continuous job. There is something wrong somewhere. So return this to string. So you can say to string. So if we do that, let's run our job and see. So if we do forget Hangfire, so there you are, it has returned a quit. So failed, cannot add a continuous parent, does not exist. So actually this one should be so this one should be background job.enqueue. So you should actually do this. Background job.enqueue. Then we do that. Then we do this. Then we close it. So we do that. So there we are. So let's see. So there we are. So if we do forget, so background job running with ID 11. So if we do my dashboard, jobs, so we have awaiting. So we have this is email sent with ID. So here this is what we have done. So it will be running concurrently. Then we have scheduled and queued, jobs, recurring. So it depends on how we will want to run the job. So this is just a summary on how you can actually have a background jobs with Hangfire. So we can do that. So let's assume we want to run enqueued. Let's do that. We see. Forget and it's my dashboard jobs. You're able to see their scheduled jobs, awaiting, some of the ones that are deleted. If it failed, you'll be able to see it here. So this is Hangfire. So I think that is it for today's video. So if you have any comment down below and subscribe to our channel. See you in the next video. Bye.